What is good, Mexit planners? Last week, I made a video talking about fear and how obscure things can influence you. I'll link to that video above and also in the description notes below if you missed it. In that video, I asked the question about your biggest fear of moving to Mexico. I got a ton of responses here on YouTube and on social media. So my biggest fear is the subject of this video today. Let me explain. I've actually mentioned my biggest fear in past videos. I think the first time I mentioned it was in the video I did on the Black expat community several years ago. But my biggest fear was not being able to meet new friends or form meaningful relationships in Mexico because of the language barrier and unfamiliarity with the new culture and people of Merida, Mexico. So to understand my fear's basis, I have to give you some perspective. As a child, I lived in the Carolinas, Texas, and Pennsylvania and spent my teen years through adulthood in Atlanta. I like to say I was born a Tar Heel, but raised a G. I grew up in Atlanta after the time of Wayne Williams, but before Freaknik. So I'm Atlanta through and through. Me and my oldest friends in Atlanta have been down for almost 35 years, and many of my closest friends I've known for a decade or more. So for me, it was terrifying to think about moving away from those strong relationships into a new uncertain world. The only thing that made it easier was I was moving with my best friend, who is my wife of 27 years and counting. But making new friends was certainly a big concern of mine, and I know it's a concern or challenge for many of you. I've seen many posts in different forms of people looking to hang out with others as soon as they arrive in Merida. There's a natural call for companionship and the need not to want to be alone in a new city. Also, for safety, it's good for people to know you and for you to know others in case you have a medical emergency or you just need help trying to figure out this new world. I talk about relationships in your lifestyle in the Creating Your MexitPlans course. It is an important area to consider before you hop on a plane and show up in Mexico. Thinking about these areas early will allow you to start making meaningful relationships in your new city sooner. The course is launching early next month. Enroll today and use the coupon code in the video description below to get the pre-launch discount. Today, I wanted to share with you how my journey with making new friends has gone and 2 surprises I've had over the last 3 years of living in Merida, Mexico. One of the first things I did before moving to Mexico was to join Facebook groups in Merida. Now, let me caution you about some of these Facebook groups. Not all Facebook groups are friendly, and several are nothing more than the bridge from fairy tales where the trolls hang out. The benefit of joining groups is so you learn real quickly who the trolls are and the people you want to stay away from. There are also several groups that have been tremendously helpful connecting with others. One really good thing about the groups is that several offer in-person meetups. I met many of my closest friends in town by going to meetups that were organized online through Facebook. I've told the story in previous videos about the WhatsApp group that became like the local white pages for many of my friends. I'll link to that video in the description below as well. But the first tip I want to give you is to go to community events and meet people. Put yourself out there and do things that may feel uncomfortable to you. One of the first events I went to, we showed up at someone's house that I had only talked to online. It was a surprise birthday party for the brother of the person who invited me over, who I had never met. At the time we arrived at the house, there were several groups arriving at the front door. None of us knew each other, and we didn't even know if we were in the right place. The first thing we did that was totally uncomfortable and unusual for me was we actually opened the door and went into the house not knowing if this was the right place. And at the end of the night, we had a fantastic time and met some of the folks that I'm closest to today in Merida. I would have not done any of these things in Atlanta, primarily for the risk of being shot. But getting out of my comfort zone, meeting people that I'd never met, partying with a group of folks that I have never met before was an incredible experience. My mindset on relationships has been incredibly helpful for me. I've been very blessed with great friends and allies throughout my entire life. I've also had relationships that have lasted for a short season that I thought were long term. So I truly value the people that support and celebrate me. I know that everyone you meet isn't in your life forever. Everybody has a reason and a season to be in your life. So I approach each new relationship with that principle in mind, and I try to enjoy the time that I spend with folks. I also believe that time is the most important resource that we have. So who you choose to spend time with or not spend time with is an incredibly important decision. The interesting thing about this mindset is it's allowed me to make great friends with people I have only known for a few years. The people in Merida, Yucatan are incredibly friendly in my opinion. My closest Spanish-speaking friends have come from people with whom I've crossed paths with during daily living. In previous videos, you guys have probably seen me mention my friend Ernesto, the chef. I met Ernesto the day I stopped by the Casina Economica he was working at. Now we're going to celebrate Ernesto opening his restaurant in a few weeks in Merida called No Que Rico. I'm very excited for my brother because I've seen him go full circle from working for someone to now having his own business. It's incredible. Other folks like my friend Pancho have shown up for me time and time again here in the Yucatan. These are just two examples, but there are many more like my past landlords who are also really good friends of mine. I sincerely appreciate these folks in my life, and I look forward to the day when we can have conversations seamlessly in Spanish without all of my gaffes. My point that I want to make to you is to not let the language barrier be a block for you meeting new people. I've also met some incredible expats in Merida. One thing that all of my expat friends have in common is that we decided to live outside of the area that we grew up in. Folks that make this type of decision generally are folks that think outside of the box. Several of my expat friends are world travelers and have lived all over the world. Some of these folks are the most courageous people I've ever met. One of the coolest things I've discovered living here is that I tend to spend a lot of quality time with my friends in Mexico. Not a day goes by where I don't talk to my group of close expat friends. We also regularly share meals together, have adventures, and have gone on trips together. I've definitely got to know my tribe here very well in a super short amount of time. These folks constantly show up for me and my family, even going as far as flying back to the States to celebrate my daughter's 5th birthday or flying to Miami to support my wife in her first triathlon. We are truly blessed to have this family here in Merida. My two biggest surprises with meeting folks here in Mexico is that I've met folks that I hope to have around for the rest of my life. I didn't expect these once total strangers to impact my life as much as they have. These people have even met my oldest and closest friends in Atlanta. The other thing that I discover is it's not the amount of time that you spend with someone, it's the quality of time that matters. This has been proven by how close we've become to the folks here in Mexico in such a short time. So my fear of not having close friends and substantial relationships in Mexico was completely unfounded. I would say that my life is fuller with all of my friends because of my expat journey. Many of my friends back home in Atlanta have traveled to Mexico and met my new friends. And those that haven't traveled, when we go back to Atlanta, we definitely spend quality time together. Leave me comments below and let me know what you think about relationships and meeting new people in Mexico. Don't let fear drive any of your decisions. Get out there and meet new people. Until next time, this has been MexitPlans Monty. I'm out.